Another year have passed, and another year is coming. It is time for my yearly vlog, looking back at the year 2024 and looking forward to the current year 2025. I have actually gone out of my way this year to actually write a script for this video. Normally I just ramble on freely and then stop when I feel I don't have anything else to say. Not this year. I felt I wanted to try something new, and writing a script was basically a part of that. So, as you might have noticed, I've been a lot more active. I will speak a little more about this. So basically, this video has 3 segments. The first is looking back at 2024. How did the channel do? Where is it now? What happened? Things like that. The second part is more about my personal situation. It kind of explains how things have been, so it sort of explains the situations behind part 1, but there might be some superstitial outside things that it doesn't explain, and that's why it's there. And finally, I will end this vlog, however long it's gonna be. There isn't a set time for this. It's how long it takes me to read the script, and then basically, if I feel I need to say something else that I forgot to put in the script and that I feel I haven't covered, then I'll go off script in the sort of outro part of this video. The third part of the video is going to be a look forward. So looking into 2025, seeing what's going to happen channel-wise. I'm not so much going to speak about my personal future, as I cover that, at least in the script. I plan to cover that in that part. So that will be largely in part 2, and then we'll sort of transition into part 3, where it will be about the channel. So about ongoing series, planned series, things like that. So, this year has seen an increased number of subscribers to my channel, and I wanted to start the script off by saying thank you all for staying here and for watching. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, to say the least. Not so much downs, mostly ups, as I, on the 28th of September last year, got an email from YouTube saying congratulations on reaching 100 subscribers. And I was like, that's a relatively small milestone. I mean, compared to some other channels out there, you could name any kind of channel and it would be small in comparison. And that's okay, because this channel is never about growing big. I wouldn't mind it if it came to that, but I'm not going to go out of my way for the sake of making that happen. I'm just going to do the same thing that I have been doing and that I feel comfortable doing. That's the easiest. If it ever gets to a point where I start making money from YouTube, that's fine, as it has always been. If not, that's also fine. At the time of writing, and I wrote this on the 2nd of January, after waking up from not a night of partying for New Year's Eve, but I did stay up late, and thus then slept in for most of 1st of January, so that was basically a nothing day. But I wrote this script on the 2nd of January, looked it over on the 3rd, and here we are on the 4th, as is my standard upload date for these vlogs. I could have done it a couple of days before, I could have done it a couple of days later, it doesn't matter. But here we are. I think that my divergence into reading books out loud have, well, I can see that have done a number for my channel, at least in terms of views, not so much in terms of my subscribers, but that the number of views have gone up significantly, especially when I read the classics, so Poe and Lovecraft. Those got 50 views in the span of maybe a couple of days. And to me, where some of my videos sits at around 20 views after like 6 years, that's incredible. And it shows to me that I am doing something right, and then obviously I'm going to continue to do that because I like reading and I like that people are watching and seemingly liking this new turn. I'm not going to remove or get away from the gaming stuff, like that's still going to happen, but reading videos takes a lot less editing. I do still have to go into the audio and be like, basically go in and make sure that I don't stutter too much, I don't mispronounce sentences, or I don't completely mess up because for whatever reason. I still have to go into that. I mean, I'm conscious about it when I'm reading, so if I get something wrong, I will typically take a short, like couple of, maybe half a second out, and then basically like make sure that I read that perhaps a little louder. That's the thing that I have sort of been aware of, that I've like, when I've cut something out, the corrected sentence is usually a little louder than what it was before, but not in a gratuitous way, but more of in a sort of, oh, that's the thing I do. So, but in general, it's a lot less editing. It's a lot faster to upload and to render for the most part. I am about 80 pages through H.P. Lovecraft's The Call of Cthulhu. And that one is long. That one is very long. No, not The Call of Cthulhu. I've already uploaded that. No, the Case of Charles Dexter Ward. And that is basically like that. Okay, I've had some long, currently not uploaded yet, readings of Poe, namely The Murders in the Rue Morgue, which was, I think, close to 2 hours, and the successor follow-up story, which was also, I think, even longer. And editing those are probably going to take some time. Like I have to sit down and at least listen through it, and so the editing time can never be shorter than the recording time, if that makes sense. And I mean, if it doesn't, then it's just sort of a personal, I wouldn't say gripe, that's more of an observation. I don't mind it because it's the entire story, as it were, in one piece. So, but that's part of the why have I gotten to, well, at least why I think I've gotten to 121 subscribers, which was at the time of writing. I haven't checked today, but I think it's the same. I think the reason is, I've uploaded a video pretty much every day. December was an exception, obviously, because I managed to get 2 dice calendars, and so I had to make 2 videos every day. But that was not a problem. It was a bit of a problem for the amount of memory that my phone have, where I had to start. There was basically a couple of recordings where I was like, my phone was like cutting the recording short because it basically ran out of memory mid-recording, and I was like, so basically going back and removing old photos and stuff like that. Technical stuff that's really not important. again, it happened. But another thing that have helped, I think, is that I have been more diligent in writing the tags for the video. So normally I just upload a video without any kind of description, and in the past I just uploaded it basically having the title, and that is basically sort of the only thing. And then I've begun adding the tags, which I can both do in my editing software, but also afterwards on YouTube. And I think for the sake of giving the videos a better SEO, that have actually helped sort of getting the occasional YouTube surfer that's just sort of like clicking through random videos watching. And that I think have actually gained me a couple of subscribers down the line. I don't know if most of it is word of mouth. I do sort of like when people ask, "What do you do for fun?" I do mention it. Sometimes that do bring someone to look. I mean, I don't give them the, "Hey, could you subscribe to my channel?" I don't go around do that because that has never been my style. I give them, if they ask, "Oh, can I see your channel?" Yeah, then I give them a link and tell them that, yeah, there's some gaming stuff, there's some books, and basically that's sometimes that gets subscribers, sometimes it doesn't. That's perfectly fine. But I think that have helped. I like how my channel have sort of evolved to being able to upload every day because of how things are. And I think I'm generally happy about where things stand. So yeah, in a grand scheme of things, I'm happy about where the channel is and how it is developing. That it makes sense to me, and I like going back, viewing my old videos for the sake of seeing like where was I sort of mentally at that time. Where was I at, sort of in game wise, and sort of how have I developed. So I'm not planning on moving my old videos away, those that when I wasn't particularly good at editing, or when my uploading schedule and recording style wasn't as set as it is now. I'm not going to go in and remove those, so if you really dig, you can still find my old PS3/PS4 comparison video of Skyrim, where I definitely did not edit the audio correctly. The first 9 episodes of my actual Skyrim playthrough are also still up. I mean, the audio is low, but you can hear it if you have headphones on, because that was some kind of recording setup that I messed up somehow. And those videos are still up. And the reason for that is that I want to, mostly for myself, but I want to sort of show where did I start? How did I start out? And I mean, if you go really far back, the first attempts at video, let's call it that, was me trying to hold my phone while at the same time playing Skyrim and so recording the TV from my mobile phone. Yeah, it was a mess, but that was before I got hold of like hardware to actually record from, which is a huge deal. But those videos are still up, and they're never going to go away unless for some reason someone claims that these videos are not allowed to be on YouTube for some reason. I can't imagine such a situation, but what do you know? Good. That's the sort of look back at the channel. Then it's time for me. 2024 was a bit of a mess, and I am aware that I say that practically every every single yearly vlog that I say that it had been a mess, but some years, most years, that is true. And that's just how things are for me. The main thing that happened is that I sort of, before the summer holiday, around June, early June, basically was saying your municipal sort of analysis period is ending, and you're basically going to be admitted to get what is called flex income. So flex income here in Denmark is, to very briefly summarize what that is essentially a possibility for people with physical or mental disabilities who can't work a full-time job to still get a payment as if it was similar to a full-time job. And these aren't just handed out. You actually have to be evaluated and sort of tested for seeing how much you are capable of working. And the municipality, the job center, have reached a conclusion that I am capable of working, depending on the type of work, roughly 13 to 16 hours a week. So obviously that's a far bit from the full-time job, which here in Denmark is at around 36, 37 hours. And I'm not able to do that. I have been able to, when I was really pressuring myself, which obviously in hindsight wasn't good, to work at around 20, 25 hours, but that also really drained me mentally and was not a good time. I was lacking sleep, I was depressed, I was stressed out most of the time. So yeah, the municipality can see that, okay, it is not good for you to work that much, so we can see if that you should probably work a little less. But it has never been a point to where I was like, I'm gonna retire and then basically have all the time in the world. No, that has not been up to discussion. That has never been any talk of that. I want to do something, wake up in the morning and be like, okay, we go to work. However minuscule that might be. I wanted to always have a job, but never really been able to hold a position for very long because it was expected to be a full-time job, and I can't manage that, not with my autism and not with my Asperger's. And the depression caused by stress certainly didn't help on top of that. So what it is part of the reason that I've begun sort of uploading daily is because I have the time for it. I am no longer working at a car parts warehouse because that was part of the sort of analysis period where the municipality was like, okay, we're watching you, we're observing you, we're listening to the employer, seeing what you can manage, when it gets too much, things like that. And when that ended, there was sort of a contract between the municipality and the business. And basically, so that ended. I was sad about that, but it happened, and it was always going to happen, as they weren't the business wasn't capable of offering me a full-time or part-time job for that position. In this regard, I am now on the flex income. It is a higher stating, so I am more financially insured, which is good. But it also means that I have to send at least one job application every single week. And most of them is gonna be a no. Some of them don't even answer, but as long as I can prove that I have sent this application at least once a week, then I have my income basically. But I otherwise don't have anything to do in my daily hours. It's a little rough on the psyche because, again, not having something to wake up to and like be like, okay, I gotta get out of bed. There is something I need to do. So that has been a bit of a rough time, even though I have more free time. So that is still ongoing, and that it will sort of afflict my ongoing ability to make videos. If I don't get a job, but still have this income, I will be able to make this once a day upload. And here is sort of like, if I get a position, I will make an update about that and see how that affects my ability to upload. Currently, this is like a little uncertain, so I can't really say anything else about it right now because I don't know how anything else will be. Third part, the future. So for the series that are ongoing, that is The Elder Scrolls Online, that is West of Loathing, that is Sunny, and obviously the book series, but I've already touched on the book series. It's not going anywhere. Like it's going forward, obviously, but it's not going away. It's not much to say in terms of the books. I'm still looking to acquire some other books. I have gotten all the books in the Victorian Mystery series, so that's coming slowly, but it is. The Elder Scrolls Online, just chugging along. I'm having fun and exploring new areas, being frustrated at things. Not so bad as Vardenfell, which was kind of a low point. I was really angry at that. But basically, yeah, it's doing fine. There's not much to say because there's still content to be made from The Elder Scrolls Online. West of Loathing is finished in terms of recording. I have not yet uploaded all the episodes, but I'm in the midst of it. And I'm actually on recording the follow-up, which is Shadows Over Loathing. So where West of Loathing had a Western theme, Shadows Over Loathing have an Eldritch Horror, Cosmic Horror, H.P. Lovecraft theme. And I'm in the midst of recording that. I think I have 21 episodes of that already. So yeah, the backlog is there, and I'm working through it slowly but surely. Sunny is all finished in terms of recording, both Sunny 1 and Sunny 2. And I'm on 9 out of 13 of the first Sunny, and I think the second Sunny had around 10 episodes, because when playing on that difficulty that I played on, which I think was beginner for the sake of just getting into it, it doesn't have all the zones, which I think is stupid. But never mind that. That is just a sort of position that the game has decided to take. In that regard, when Sunny 2 is finished uploading, way down the line, then obviously I'm going to have to look at something else. But that is where the financial situation that I mentioned in the second part comes in. Because I'm looking to, probably here during the January sales, to obtain a PS5. Now, obviously the PS5 is not, it is the newest console, but it isn't like its release date was, I think, a couple of years ago actually by now, and so it shouldn't be too expensive. And with the January sales, it should be possible to pick it up at a reasonable price. So I'm looking for that, and definitely once I have it, I will be looking through and see what kind of games do I want to record from that, which is as of yet undecided. I'm also going to be looking through the shop on the Nintendo Switch for the sake of returning to recording from that. But I haven't done that yet, so I can't say what type of games would I like to play on it, because it's very much a, oh, that looks fun, and then try it out. And sometimes it is fun, like Burly Men at Sea. That was a very fun little route. But other times it's Rain World, which really didn't suit me well, and was like, I made the video and was like, yeah, this game might not be for me. And then someone in the comment was like, yeah, it's this roguelike, basically Dark Souls-esque, where you have to sort of increasing. I was like, you got me at Dark Souls. That's a no from me. It's not my type of game. I don't want to be frustrated while I'm gaming. I want to have fun. And constantly being frustrated, like I tried Bloodborne for an hour, and yeah, that was not a game for me. I decided, it was actually a coincidental that I had a very sore throat and I could barely speak, which was good because the audio, if I were to have recorded commentary for that one, that would not have been great. And while I'm sort of in a video happened, it's uploaded, it's done. And then usually I don't do anything about it unless like requirements. So if someone claimed that I'm using their music, I will obviously do what YouTube suggests, which is usually either sort of mute that section or sometimes just, stop a playthrough entirely, which happened with Child of Light, which I'm still sad about and still upset about, but it is what it is. Had I uploaded commentary for the Bloodborne video, that would probably have been a video where I, in the edit, was like, you know what? No, let's just remove this audio. It's not worth it. So I'm kind of glad that I didn't record commentary for it, because that was really not fun. It's a pretty game, and I can understand why other people like it, but it's not for me. And I think that is an important part of gaming, accepting that other people have games they like, but also accepting that everyone have games that they don't like. As long as we're not forcing anyone else to play or not play a game, then it's fine. It's basically like colors. Some people like shit brown. I am not one of them, but it's okay if you do. So, that is the end of the script that I have written. Have I covered it all? Have I gotten around to all the corners? I think so. And if there is something else, well, if you follow me on Facebook, that is Qa'Rajh, I will be sort of more active there or from now on, because that also helps with SEO and it helps the reach in general. I have almost 300 followers, so I have more followers on my Facebook page than I have subscribers on a YouTube channel. Again, nothing of real importance there, but I was basically on that for the sake of, like, it really started out as a spin-off from the admin profile from the Qa'Rajh page, and then it sort of became like, oh, I can connect this to my YouTube and actually have it sort of like daily uploads. I still need to do that manually, but basically have them as the platform for that. And so I'm going to be more active there, like usually probably posting the daily upload onto that, and basically be having a better reach on that. But all in all, I think the channel is moving in a great direction, and I'm very happy to have you all with me for this journey. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. And I hope that you will have a great 2025.